Hey, it's me. Welcome back to the Forever World. First thing I do immediately is I look outside, see it's dark, and go to bed. I step outside to find that I'm being attacked once again. Instead of fighting him though, I just decide to let him burn, to let him know the consequences of his actions. Today on the agenda, I wanted to make a farm, so I started off by getting a bucket and going to get some water. I got some water at a nearby lake, and then I stopped to get these thistleberries because I thought I could use them for a build at some point. This creeper decided that he had something to say about it though, so he blew up and lagged my game. As most people know, you need an infinite water source in order to make a farm, so I made this 1x3 water source because screw your 2x2 water sources. I then started clearing the grass and the trees in the immediate area. I needed a lot of space for my crops because near my house there isn't a whole lot of space for anything. Clearing all these trees and all this grass was starting to take a while. I'm a very impatient person, so it's taking a while for me. So I started to brainstorm if only there was a way for me to speed up this process drastically. I had an absolutely genius idea while I was clearing the area. I'm certain no one has ever thought of this idea before because it's so intelligent. As you can see, this plan works flawlessly. There's absolutely no problems, and the water goes exactly where I want it to go. See, watch this. That actually worked better than I thought it would. I am secretly a genius and I didn't even know it. I wonder how exciting it is to watch me clear all this grass and chop down all these trees. Yeah, I bet it's really entertaining. I realized I was running out of stone, the thing I desperately need in order to actually do all this work. Oh well, I'll get that later. That'll be a project for future me. I'm too busy watching all these trees get chopped down with one strike. It's really satisfying. Now that I'm done clearing this little area, I can replace all this podzol with dirt so I can till it later. Unfortunately, there's still more grass to get rid of. The job is, unfortunately, never over. I think I may actually be starting to lose a little bit of my sanity getting rid of all this grass. Everywhere I look, all I see is grass. The walls are grass, the roof is grass, the microphone is grass, my computer is grass, I'm grass, everything's grass. And now that I've gotten rid of all the grass, guess what? Now I get to get rid of all the dirt. Yay! I'm so excited. Just a little bit of terraforming that needs to be done. Never been good at it, but I will try my best. This area needs to be good so I can have all my farms here anyway. This is just too much dirt. If I have to sit through digging through all this, so do you guys. Nah, I'm just kidding. Is it possible that this is too much work to be putting into making a small farm? No, of course not. And thus begins the actual planting of the actual crops. I can finally start this little farm. You know, it may have been a valiant effort, but I know this farm will look good, because I'll try and make it look good. And of course, potatoes. I will be expanding this farm because this was a lot of effort just for this small plot of land, so I will definitely be making it bigger. You know what's better than one small plot of farmland? I bet you'd never guess. I know, it's very subtle. You can't even tell what I'm doing on screen, can you? So now I can finally start getting rid of all of this podzol because this is going to take a while and I need to turn it all into farmland. Unfortunately, all I have is a smooth rock on a stick to work with, so it's not very fast. Wait, hang on. Well, this just got infinitely faster. I tilled every single one. Yes. The ones that aren't going to get water are just going to turn back into dirt, which is what I want. That's why I tilled every single one, so it'll look better. This also helps me expand my crops, which is good. A few feet away, I decided I wanted to start a sugarcane farm because I had some. So put some water here, cleared this little spot of land, and I did the checkered thing that you're supposed to do in order to make the most sugarcane per small area. Not sure if I did it right, but it looks cool, so I think that's right. Making these farms all day made me very tired, so I decided to go to bed. When the morning arose, I realized that I wanted this farm to look better than the standard farms that I make because this is my forever world. So I got some half slabs and put them around the edge, both to add a little bit of style, and so when I walked over them and other mobs would walk over them, they wouldn't crumple the crops and ruin them. So it was functionality and it also looked good, so that's why I did it. I think I'm gonna want to add more later, but we'll get there when we get there. Oh hey look, it's future me and the problem of not having enough resources to do anything. I made this little makeshift mine shaft right below my house, and I came across this weird looking cave that for some reason had a full little plot of grass underneath. I thought it was cool. There was nothing really of value in there, so I just took some of the coal that I found in there and carried on. I'm pretty sure I've been mining for about an entire 24 hours, so I think I have enough resources for now. Upon returning to the entrance of my mine, I saw that there was a giant, slender man standing in my way. I did what I do with every social interaction, and I avoided direct eye contact. And yeah, it's time to go to bed now. By the time I woke up, I could immediately tell it was a great morning. I had a piece of bread, and knew immediately my plan for the day. That's right, baby, getting right back to mowing that lawn. I had to clear this land in order to make some room for some shelter that I would house some animals in pretty soon. My plan was to make it for chickens and also moo blooms, because there's moo blooms here, so I'm just going to have moo blooms and cows in the same pen. Using the mountain of cobblestone that I mined earlier, I made a wall. This wall would be two-sided, so there'd be one side for moo blooms and one side for chickens. I wanted to make it a little fancier, so I put 2 gates on it, and eventually led this moo bloom in, and that is where he will stay for the rest of his life. I gave my prisoner a prisoner friend so he wouldn't be as lonely. I then found this cute couple just sitting on the side of the road, and when I fed them seeds, they decided to have a child right in front of me. I then promptly locked them up for public indecency. There. Now I have some prisoners. Friends. I have friends. Them being my friends, I wanted to treat them nicely at least. I noticed it started raining, so I got to building a roof over their heads. All jokes aside, this was genuinely just a cute thing I wanted to do. This is my forever world, so I wanted to at least take some good care of the animals that I have. The last step I wanted to do for this little barn was to put some pillars so it looked like the cobblestone wall was holding up the wooden roof. I liked the way this made it look. It made it look like an actual sort of barn house that would hold some animals, and I gave them some light just so they'd be able to see. I found some other friends that I wanted to put in the barn, and then promptly spent way too freaking long just trying to get them in a 1-block fence gate. I eventually got them in. I really should have made a 2-wide block fence gate, but again, future me problem. Once again, nighttime was fast approaching, so I promptly hit the hay. In the morning, I was just minding my own business farming my potatoes when a hooligan decided he wanted to come up and steal my potatoes. No, they're my potatoes. You get your own. I need these trees for stuff and things and resources. Don't worry, I planted them back. I realized that there wasn't enough farming land up on the hill, so I went down the hill and dismantled one of the villager farms that they already had set up, so I could make my own, which was better, bigger, and more productive. But first, I had to do my favorite thing in the whole world, and clear more grass from another large area. I think I'm going crazy. There were bees in the center of all this, so I decided I was going to center the farm around that, and then put some flowers around the outside, so as the bees would fly over, they would drop some pollen onto the crops and make them grow faster. I believe this calls for a soil tilling montage. I took a second to entertain this wandering trader. I saw that he had jungle saplings, which is my favorite wood, and celebrated by killing both of his llamas. I went back to my house to get my emeralds, returned to the wandering trader, and bought my sapling. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I forgot to plant it, so instead, you can have this footage of me tilling soil and planting more crops, which I know is just way more entertaining than seeing me plant a sapling, right? I mean, neither one is entertaining. Like, that's the point of the joke. Neither is entertaining. Whatever, you get it. I really enjoy doing these little things, like just planting these flowers to make my crops grow better. I wouldn't usually do anything like this, but because it's my forever world, I'm taking the time to do that. I also stopped to realize that when the moo blooms walk around, they actually leave flowers in their trail, which helps my crops grow because the more flowers I have, the more pollen I have, the more pollen I have, the more crops I have. Before the day even ends, I can tell that this farm is already highly productive. It's already finishing growing these potatoes before the day's already ended. There was this little patch of coal right next to my farm that I got because it kept annoying me because every time I would walk by, I would be too lazy to just mine it up, so I just got it to get it over with. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of progress done with this episode, but I like to keep them short because I know they're not very high on everyone's priority, so I just like to keep them short and concise. But we made some farms, we made some barn houses, and we put some little roofs to house our little animals so they would be protected from the elements. So, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Hopefully I'll have another episode out soon. I've been working really hard to record these episodes as fast as I can. But thank you so much. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.